And you know what? I have a great big Post-it note that says record. Oh, wow. So back to detoxing. Plus, make sure that you have your worksheet printed out. If you don't have it, go print it out. Go run to the printer and print it out right now. And it's not just because I want you to print something out. What I want to do is make sure that you get all the important information. A big goal for you today is that you will come out of this with some great new ways to break through plateaus, to get out of a rut, and to start having better energy. Now, I'm going to show you a shortcut that has kept me and thousands of my clients around the world getting a ridiculously unfair advantage in terms of feeling energized with great vitality. And it is not stimulants like caffeine, chocolate, or those crazy energy drinks. And you may not believe me, but I'm actually getting healthier and happier and seemingly more youthful every single year for the last 15 years. And let me show you, I have a picture. So this photo is not edited. It's not color corrected. It is not photoshopped. It's just a photo of a time when I was really, really sick. So very sick about 20 years ago. And you can see how I have aged well. In fact, I look more youthful now than I did 20 years ago. Wrinkles or more wrinkles. It's about a vitality of youthfulness that when we have good health, then it shows. And how do I do this? Well, you know, clearly through the lifestyle I lead. I am an integrative health practitioner looking through the lens of Ayurveda, but also through detoxing 4 times a year. It is one of my most powerful tools. Now, I'm going to say something that might trigger you. If you are not waking up with excitement, energy, and a clear mind, then something is off. I tell all my clients all the time, if you are not in your prime now, then you're doing something wrong. But before we get to that though, those of you who don't know me, and there's a lot of people here, and I have 2 screens, but there's a lot of people here that I do recognize. My name is Kerry Harling, and I want to share a little bit about myself and my journey to where I am today so that I'm not a total stranger to you. Now, I spent much of my life sick and chronically fatigued, and this always surprises people when I tell them, especially based upon what I do now. And it began when I was about 40 years ago. I had left an abusive marriage. I remember feeling like I was starting all over again. You can clearly understand it being a traumatic time, but I was filled with hope. I was with my young son, so I became a single parent, but I was embarking upon a better life with no drama, no fear, and I was going back to school in a new state. I thought all of my stress was behind me. And then what happened is the pain began. Excruciating pain. Pain in my joints, pain in my muscles, and all over body pain. Then came the headaches and food sensitivities and sleeplessness. I spent most of my nights just tossing and turning. So I did what we all do. I made an appointment to see a physician. They ran tests. Everything came back normal. And from there, things got worse. I was exhausted all the time. Each day, I had to decide where I would place my very limited energy. If I played baseball with my son, then I couldn't do the laundry. If I cleaned the house, then I would have to rest for a couple of days. And I felt absolutely desperate. Mostly, I wanted to be able to do all the normal things that a mother does with her young son. And it absolutely broke my heart when I would have to tell him again that mom is too tired and mom needs to rest. This went on for months and I wasn't getting better. I was in fact getting worse. I was trying to do well in school, negotiate our new life, yet, you know, I just wanted to curl up on the couch and just fall fast asleep all day. So I started to try other things. In fact, I tried everything. I tried every diet known to mankind. First, I was a vegan because, you know, meat is the devil, right? Then I was a carnivore because, hey, vegetables must be killing us. Then I became a fruitarian. I ate only fruit because everything except fruit is probably dangerous to the immune system. I tried keto, high carb, low carb. I tried not eating anything at all, just water fasting. I tried float tanks. I even tried Adderall to try and lift the depression, antidepressants, and I spent thousands of dollars on supplements. I also tried light machines, sound machines, sauna therapy, colonics, sun gazing, moon gazing. I had positive affirmations all over the house. I tried chanting healing mantras, and of course, let us not forget, every single self-help book I could possibly find. I went back to the doctors. I started seeing specialists, GI doctors, endocrinologists, infectious disease doctors, and ultimately psychologists. And I still remember one psychologist telling me that I was depressed and maybe that my symptoms were all in my head. And I remember bursting into tears because, I just couldn't seem to explain that, at this point I was depressed. Start out that way. I was depressed because I had become convinced that there was no hope for me, that there was no answers. I was still on the merry-go-round of doctor after doctor, but after seeing numerous specialists, I began to notice that, not one of them tried to understand the underlying cause of my health problems. They were merely symptom chasers, all of them. And then one early spring day came the beginning of a true shift. That's the day I was finally diagnosed with something, and I was diagnosed with mercury toxicity. Finally, I had an answer of sorts. Now, the next question was, where had I got all that exposure from? I was asked, where had I grown up? How much fish did I eat? Had I ever lived next to a hat-making factory of all things? And that's where I learned where the phrase "as mad as a hatter" comes from, because the felt hatting process uses mercury, and people that get mercury tend to have mental health problems. But we couldn't pin it down how I contracted this mercury poisoning. But finally, I did know the root cause of my problems. And again, I felt hope for the first time in years. And I began to think that I could finally be healthy again, once and for all. After all, if we know the problem, we can fix it, right? For me, it took 5 years of treatment. I had chelation treatment to remove the mercury from the tissues and the brain. I had all mercury fillings removed. I had surgery to remove a mercury filling that got embedded in my gums. And after 5 years, I was finally free of mercury. But at this point, I was lacking any kind of energy and vitality. I had fixed the underlying problem, which was the mercury toxicity, but the very treatment required to take all that mercury out of my system had left me totally depleted. I was still utterly exhausted. And now I was toxic from all the treatments that I had received. At this time, I wanted you to see me as well. It was at this time that I was introduced to Ayurveda. So I took the advice of my practitioner and started making some key changes in my diet and lifestyle. In fact, I started with an Ayurveda cleanse or detox. And literally 1 month later, I found my vitality improving, and gradually my energy increased as well. And I thought it was amazing. I was so astounded by how powerfully effective this treatment was that I gave up my profession as a dean at a college. So I had pushed through school and devoted myself full-time to the study of Ayurveda so that I could help others transform their health and well-being. In fact, I've had particular success in helping people detox. Now, if you're anything like me, you will probably laugh, because back in the day, I didn't believe in detoxing. I would have asked the question, well, what exactly am I detoxing from? I'm not taking any drugs. Doesn't the liver, that organ, do all that detoxing? And I understand that train of thought. And later, after having a severe illness, I was forced to open my mind. And don't take my word for it. There are thousands of people who are using my detox techniques to feel energized and more like who they want to be. And I want to share those with you, if I can figure out how to. Let me see if I can do this. There we go. Yeah. So this is Kelly, and Kelly had to say, you can read this, she had to say some absolutely wonderful things about how she felt after she did a detox as well. And then there's also Carolyn, who thought that it had changed such great things for her. And then lastly, we have Stephanie, who also, had a great time after that she did her detox. And know this guy? Who's this guy? Yeah, Tony Robbins, one of the biggest self-help gurus of all time. He had a life-changing experience when he did a heavy metal detox, and he talks about it all the time on his podcast. And if somebody would have told me that 15 years later, I would have an international clientele, I'd be an author, a TED speaker, a contributing editor to a major international magazine, and be a speaker amongst some of the best thought leaders in health and medicine, I would not have believed them. But I couldn't have done this had I not gone through my own health challenges first. And I suppose I want you to know that I get it in a very personal way, because I've been through my journey of chronic illness and disease. And since becoming free of my illness, it's been my mission to help others do the same. But ever hear this or this expression? Let me do it this way and you can see me too. Death begins in the colon. This is actually from a Russian scientist named Elie Menshikov, who, by the way, won the Nobel Prize. And he knew that all disease starts in the gut. So it's traditional in Ayurveda to detox each season to maintain that gut health. And how many of you have done a detox before or a cleanse? Let me see in chat. Yep, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Yep, you can just give me an emoji. You can give me a thumbs up. You can say, yep, I have. Yep. So some of you have done detoxes. That's great. Some of you have not. Because one of the things that is super important is to detox. And I feel that, we should detox, I'm seeing all the chats coming now, we should detox 4 times a year. And by the way, that's on your worksheet. It's number 1. I recommend doing a guided detox or cleanse 4 times a year. And here's why. We shower and bathe ourselves every day with chemicals. We brush our teeth every day with chemicals. We wash our hair with shampoo and conditioner most days with chemicals. And by the time we leave the bathroom, most of us have applied over 150 different chemicals to our bodies. And that's before we get our cereal bowl out of the dishwasher that's been cleaned in chemicals. We put on our clothes for the day that have been washed in chemicals. And this is before we have even looked at the toxic air, the food, the soil, and the water that we ingest. And what about the toxicity that comes from prescription medications? And honestly, in the last 100 years, there has been over 80,000 new industrial chemicals introduced into our environment. These toxins and dangerous chemicals, combined with the typical American diet and lifestyle, can lead to depression, fatigue, loneliness, weight issues, and hundreds of other horrible that we see. Believe it or not, autopsies reveal that 80% of people who have passed away have backed up or clogged colons. And most of us fail to ever clean the inside of our bodies. And the truth is that our digestive tract, the colon, is actually a giant sewer system for our bodies. And if we fail to keep it clean, it's impossible then to have a clear mind, feel vitality and energy. Because without cleansing their body, there becomes a backup of old fecal matter, heavy metals, undigested food, and other unwanted substances. Now, I want to imagine a day in the life of your kitchen sink. Faithfully, on a daily basis, it drains away your wastewater and leftovers. Now imagine what would start happening if the pipes were blocked and the water wasn't able to flow. Can you see that sludge building up from the vegetable rinds, the uneaten toast, the kids' cereal, the oil from yesterday's cookout? Can you smell the rotten stagnation and toxicity? If this all just sat there for 3 months, are you getting the picture? Are you disgusted yet? Then you see the need for a detox. So let's look at that image of a kitchen sink. Like it or not, all of us are that kitchen sink to some degree. The gunk that builds up is referred to in Ayurveda as ama, that's just metabolic waste. And ama or toxins do happen naturally. But to obtain and maintain optimal health, we got to minimize the amount of toxins in our bodies. Now, making healthy diet and lifestyle choices, that definitely helps with this. But there's more that we've got to do to keep that kitchen sink in top working order. First, the systems in our body that remove wastes, that's stool, urine, and sweat, they've got to be working efficiently, and particularly important is that colon. The colon is where so much of what we ingest gets processed, and the potential for toxins building up is huge. So the simplest way to assess the health of your colon is to just sort of take a look at your bowel movements. Do you have regular daily bowel movements? Do you have to strain to pass a stool? Does your stool or gas have a foul odor? And unhealthy bowel habits are often a sign of toxin buildup in your colon. If there's any kind of constipation, any kind of loose stools or diarrhea or acidity or burping, gas and bloating, these are all signs of poor digestion that could be caused from a toxic buildup. But can you think of any other things that might indicate toxin accumulation? I mean, what signs would you imagine are related to your body's waste material not being disposed of properly? What do you think? Acid reflux, yes. Foul odors, yes. Skin problems, you are absolutely right. Body odor, smelly urine, definitely shows up on the skin. All these could be associated with toxic buildup. Maybe a foggy, clouded feeling in the mind, that's going to indicate excess toxins as well. Even tiredness in your muscles and joints can be an indication. And sure, you might learn to live with that stuff. I mean, it's normal, right? How bad can it be? But just like that kitchen sink, not attending to the situation could lead to bigger problems down the road. So when toxins build up, it can block body channels and functions, and that's ultimately going to lead to poor health. So to be very clear, I am not talking about taking a supplement or a green juice or a charcoal lemonade from the juicer down the street. I am talking about a detox done properly. Now, the first thing we want to do is minimize toxins. And ideally, the first thing we want to do is minimize your toxic exposure. But remember, if you are not regularly removing toxins, where do you think they're going to build up? I got a picture for you. They're going to build up in your fat cells. Yes, so write that down. If you are regularly removing toxins, they're going to build up in your fat cells. And this is the big place they get stored. And that's why they wreak havoc on your body. Now, I want you to think of something here. We often think of our bodies as a bank account where toxins accumulate, and they can do that. But your body is really one big, complex, dynamic system. And that's also on the worksheet. This is so, so true with toxins because, you remember the old sort of weight loss adage? Well, if you want to lose weight, you have to eat less and exercise more. And how many people still think that way? We've just got to eat less and exercise more. It is our go-to thought, except we know that doesn't work. Why? Because hormones run everything. If your thyroid isn't working well, if you have high insulin, you're insulin resistant, if you've got estrogen dominance, your body is going to store fat, not burn it. You're no longer an efficient fat burner at that point. You're then going to feel sluggish. You're going to feel fatigued. You're going to be constipated, and you're going to be bloated. You're going to have cravings, all those symptoms. How many people get cravings? I'd love you to put it in chat. Remember, I like audience participation. Remember, we talked about this. So your body is not a bank account. It's a complex, dynamic chemical system, and toxins disrupt this dynamic system because they impact the key hormones that help you lose weight. I'm seeing all the chats come in now. And that's why weight has a lot to do with toxin buildup. Now, these hormones are mainly thyroid, estrogen, insulin. Now, here's a super interesting one. There was a study done, and it was called the NHANES study. And this study looked at nurses. And prior to this study, there was a belief that obesity caused diabetes. But what they discovered in this study with nurses was that it wasn't obesity that was driving diabetes. It was actually the toxins that were stored in the fat cells, that were lowering the body's metabolism, and that was causing diabetes. It was changing the way the body handled blood sugar, insulin. It was also lowering metabolism. So it's not just calories. Yeah, we still tend to think, oh, I'll cut calories to lose weight. But you have to make sure your blood sugar and insulin are working well. You have to have a good thyroid function, that your estrogen and progesterone levels are balanced. And you can get estrogen just from the foods you're eating through xenoestrogens that are in plastics. And by the way, with thyroid, and this is what is super important, not only is your body not a bank account, it's a chemical system, but it is also a history book. And I'll get to that in just a minute. So this is what I mean by your body also being a history book. These toxins, if you're not removing them from your body, if you're not getting them out, guess what they're doing? You are storing them in your body and they will accumulate. Now, here's the big challenge that we see with studies that are looking at toxins. First of all, you have to realize that when companies are studying ingredients that are toxic to the human body, they normally want to show that they're safe so that they can put them in their products. That's a huge conflict of interest. You have to worry about any study where the outcome of that study benefits the people who are doing it. But the bigger issue is the toxins that are storing up and combining with other toxins. No one knows that effect of combining all the toxins together. That creates a problem. Case in point, if you're doing Splenda, you're getting chlorine. If you're doing bleached white bread, and please don't do that, or bleached white flour, you're getting bromide. If you're brushing your teeth, and look on your toothpaste container, and you'll see it says, do not swallow. In fact, more than a pea size of toothpaste is toxic. So these things, just in a day, chlorine, bromide, and toothpaste are toxic to your thyroid. That's a huge problem. These things then store, they combine, and it creates a huge problem. In fact, this is one of the biggest problems with weight loss resistance. So answer to number 4 on your sheet. Anybody doing that sheet? I'd love you to, because this is going to give you a lot of information at the end of our time together. Bodies are not a bank account. They're a complex, dynamic chemical system. And number 5, your body is also a history book. So remember, all these toxins are storing in your body. They're combining to create weight loss resistance and wreak hormonal havoc. So now your metabolism is slowing down, because here's what the body's thinking. I better hold on to this fat so that I can keep these toxins locked away. So it actually makes your body worse at burning fat. And I don't know about you, but I want to be super good at burning fat, don't you? So let's recap a little. Some big things that we're realizing here. You're being bombarded by toxins every day. So we first have to minimize that exposure. That's number 1, minimize the exposure. But then you also want to make sure that on a daily basis, you're doing activities that are going to help your body get rid of these toxins. And we'll be talking about those. However, I believe that if we can get together 4 times a year and really focus, it's that one thing, that 1 week, the one focus, that a cleanse can facilitate bigger detoxification in your body. And what you can notice in a week is remarkable. So I made this detox super easy and clear for you. And how many times have you started, given up because it was hard or it was confusing? Well, not here. We've made this really, really easy. So I've put together the culminations of 15 years of research and evidence from the best of Ayurveda that says there is no one size fits all, and Ayurveda cleanses have stood the test of time, and the best of Western science, things like intermittent fasting, that I use in my one-on-one coaching programs. In fact, most people, when they come to see me, they probably need a detox. Now, I understand I can't work one-on-one with everybody, so I built this 7-day detox that's going to distill all the most important information. I have poured over the research. I've thrown away all the fluff and, quite frankly, all the BS that's out there with diets and nutrition, and it just included the things that move the needle the most for me and all my one-on-one clients. And I'm going to use the very same techniques that I use with my clients to help you break through weight loss plateaus, have more energy, get out of the rut. You'll start to lose the bloat. You'll get rid of that inflammation and fatigue. Sounds good, right? Are you in? Thumbs up if this sounds good. You'd like to know more. This way, you'll be able to do this in the comfort of your own home without having to do super expensive supplements or weird treatments, because doing a detox in the wrong way or in the wrong order can be really dangerous. And please don't take random scattered advice from YouTube or your friends when it comes to detoxing. This is not something to play around with. Lisa and I, and Lisa's here, she's our wellness counselor. Lisa and I have seen a lot of damage done from people who have done these crazy, crazy detoxes and fasts. However, here we go. So you should now have number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Thumbs up. Are we good? Do you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? Let me know. Looking good? Terrific. Okay, so let's talk about intermittent fasting. And who's heard of intermittent fasting? Let me know. Seems to be very, very popular. Yep. Anybody doing intermittent fasting right now? Yep. Okay. Nice. Have done it before. Great. Lovely. Great. So, yep, we've got a lot of people who have done it. Now, intermittent fasting is an amazing tool, and we do use it in the 7-day detox. I'm going to share with you what you should do before you start intermittent fasting, but let's talk about what intermittent fasting does. One of the amazing things it does is that it can create caloric variability. Let's give an example. Katie came into a program with us, and at the consultation, she said she wanted to lose weight and yet nothing was working. And when I asked her what she'd been doing, she said she had downshifted her calories for good. She was used to eating around 2,000 calories a day, and she reduced those then to about 1,200 calories a day. Well, a little while, and that's why diets can sometimes work in the beginning, because they do have you eat less, you starve essentially. But then after, your body's going to be like, wow, I'm starving over here, and it's going to downshift your metabolism to accommodate it. We've all tried it. I'm pretty sure you have. I certainly have. Katie has. And you know what happens? You then reach a plateau. But here's what's cool about intermittent fasting. It's cycles of feeding and fasting. Now that's number 6 on your worksheet. The key to intermittent fasting is the cycle of feeding and fasting. Now, this is something that you can put in your regimen. You can rotate it in to create that caloric variability. And you know what? This is the way that things used to be years ago. We did not wake up to have breakfast, a snack, lunch, a snack, then a big dinner, and then snack in the evening. Some days we would skip food altogether. Some days we would feast. So things were variable. And this is a very important thing to add in. And that's because that caloric variability creates a ton of biochemical processes that are really beneficial. And I'll get to do that. And I'll get to what those processes are. But the most popular way to do intermittent fasting is something called the 16-8 feeding schedule. That means you don't eat for 16 hours, but you do eat for 8. So 16-8 feeding schedule, that's number 7 on your worksheet. This is the most popular way to do intermittent fasting. Got it? However, I will tell you that even within that, there are different ways to do it. You don't suddenly decide one day, okay, this is it, I'm doing it, I'm going to fast. It's got to be done the right way. And we'll get more into that in the 7-day detox. You know, what is the right way for you? But how does intermittent fasting benefit you? I tell you this, if intermittent fasting was a prescription drug, it would be the most prescribed drug ever. It's just crazy, the benefits of it. Again, I'm going to walk you through what I have found to work the best, what you do to prepare for intermittent fasting, how to use intermittent fasting, both during this focus cleanse, the focus detox we are going to do, and then how to take it into your everyday life. So let's talk about this. Are you ready? The benefits of intermittent fasting. It reduces your risk factor for diabetes. And I got to tell you, I look right now what's going on with coronavirus, and probably the biggest risk factor was being diabetic or being hypertensive. Intermittent fasting is a super important tool here to reduce your risk. There was a fairly large study done in 2018, and it found that nearly half of the people with type 2 diabetes who practiced intermittent fasting lost weight, were able to stop using their diabetes medication, and they achieved full remission. Pretty impressive, huh? Number 2, it reduces your visceral fat. And what's that? That's belly fat, love. It reduces belly fat, helps reduce blood sugar, helps reduce insulin levels, and improves insulin sensitivity. And here's why that's so important. If you have elevated blood sugar, even mildly elevated blood sugar, you have 5 times the risk of dementia. That's 5 times. And you might find that you've been trying to eat well, yet your blood sugar levels are not really coming down. Well, intermittent fasting is a great tool for rapidly improving your blood sugar levels and insulin. Now, the more sensitive your body is to insulin, the insulin doesn't have to go up as high. Because if insulin is high all the time, that often creates inflammation. You basically cannot burn off fat. You're not going to be able to burn off the stored fat because you've locked the doors to the fat cell, which then means you're always hungry. So if you're always hungry, but yet you can't eat because you've reduced your caloric intake because you're on a diet, and yet you can't lose weight, it's a total catch-22. And we often see people at this point. Okay, next one. Intermittent fasting increases adiponectin levels and reduces leptin levels. These are 2 super important hormones for making you able to lose weight because they regulate appetite and your ability to burn fat. When you increase, you up-level adiponectin and reduce leptin, you're not as hungry and you burn fat better. It stimulates weight loss and it slow stimulates the browning of white adipose tissue. You may have heard about something called BAT fat. That's brown adipose tissue. Brown fat around your waist is actually the easy fat to burn off. White fat is not. That's the dangerous fat, and that's what just hangs in there. It will not leave. It just holds on. So you actually want BAT fat, and intermittent fasting helps change that white fat to BAT fat. Right, the next thing, and this is why it's so cool and critical for detox, and this is why I thought if we put together traditional Ayurveda cleansing with intermittent fasting, then this would be the most amazing tool ever. And this is because it triggers something called autophagy. That's autophagy. And how many of you have heard about autophagy? That's literally eating your cells. So what it does is it takes out the cellular trash. It takes out the debris, gets rid of all those old cells, dead cells that need to be out of there, and it increases longevity. It actually boosts something called the SIRI1 gene that improves longevity. Ayurveda in Sanskrit means the science of life or the science of longevity. So here's that blueprint for how to live the rest of your life with health and vitality. Now, some other benefits of detoxing with intermittent fasting. It reduces inflammation in the brain, the heart, the body, helps you make new mitochondria. And why is that so important? Because that's going to determine how much energy you have. Yourself, how are you feeling all day? How are your energy levels? Who wants amazing energy all day long, right? That would be terrific. Now, it also protects against oxidative stress. And the best way to explain that is think about an apple that you've eaten. You open it up and it browns. That's oxidizing. And that can happen to you too. We don't want that. That's not a great thing because that creates aging. We don't want oxidative stress. It's aging. It creates inflammation. So we use antioxidants to combat the free radicals that are created by oxidative stress. These antioxidants are part of your 7-day detox. We've paid special attention to the recipes that have some amazing antioxidants so that we can use food as medicine. So let's go over the different things that it does. Ready? Intermittent fasting can benefit you by reducing belly fat, improving blood sugar balance, and lowering inflammation. And oh my gosh, as I said, if this was a prescription drug, can you imagine? It would be incredible. Now, I think you're seeing that if we put together traditional detox strategies with intermittent fasting, then that's going to be the ultimate detoxification. So right now, let's do a little review of where you're at, because I don't know. Maybe you're feeling tired. Maybe you're feeling uninspired or frustrated. Maybe you feel like you're stuck in a rut. You might be feeling a little bloated or a little heavy. And I want you to imagine feeling lighter in just 7 days. I want you to feel like you have more energy than you ever thought possible in just 1 week. Imagine that you have a tool that you can use now to get back to feeling totally confident in your body. And this is what a detoxification can do for you. Once you learn how to do this, and by the way, I love doing this 4 times a year. I also rotate some of these practices into my diet a few times a week. So I'm always detoxing. And then I'm also adding in that caloric variability too, taking out the cellular trash. So it makes it automatic for you to maintain your weight, to age well. I don't like that term anti-aging. It sounds like we stop aging altogether. I want to age well. And as we talk with our clients, what we hear is nobody minds aging, but we want to do it well. We want to do it with health and vitality. So aging well with vitality, easily maintaining weight. Does that sound good to you? What do you think? Are you in for that? Let me know. That would be a miracle to feel better in 10 days. Yep. And this is totally possible. We can totally do this together. Would you like to know what it would look like for us to move on together? Because it is absolutely possible. Now, I do want to talk more about intermittent fasting, how to do it, and what you need to know as you step into it, and also the detox. I'm going to go over the do's and the don'ts about detoxing. But you know what? You may have to leave early. I know we're all very busy, and I know I'm right at that sort of half-hour mark. So before I do that, I'm going to talk to you about how you can participate with us in our group detox. And for those of you who have done it before, know how awesome this is. And I know we have people here who come back every single time for this guided one. And there are new people here. I see that on my other screen, which is super fun. So I'm going to walk you through what it is, all the things that we have been doing to prepare for our 7-day detox. And this is where the whole of the Holistic Highway team comes together to support you through the cleanse. So if you're saying yes to yourself, of course, then you're going to want to know more. So let's see what's in it. Let me show you this. And by the way, if you're seeing me as a small thumbprint, which some of you maybe, just go up to your view screen or your view icon at the top right-hand corner, click on speaker view, and then you'll see it full screen. But I do want to show you this, and I want to share this with you, because if you've done any of our cleanses before, we have new things. And if you haven't, oh my gosh, you're going to be in for a treat, because in just a week, you are going to be blown away about how different you feel. One of the things we always do when we start a detox is we want to make sure that you know exactly where you're starting from. You've got to have a baseline. So we're going to start with a symptoms tracker at the beginning, and we also do a toxicity quiz. I want to know all the places that toxins could be coming in for you. And of course, you'll have your journal. You'll be tracking what you eat every single day, how you're sleeping, your emotional well-being, and what exercises that you're doing if you're doing any movement. We have a brand new meal plan to accompany it that incorporates that intermittent fasting that we were talking about. This is all along the shopping list. We included 1 week of recipes for when you come off your detox. So there are 5 new recipes that are designed for who you are, your dosha, your metabolic type in the fall season, because we are in fall. So we've got a lot of things in here, and you can keep using this whenever you want. So you can keep reusing these recipes. And of course, with this, we'll be doing our Facebook group. And in the Facebook group is where Lisa, who will say hi, is going to live for the next 7 days. And she's going to be there for you to make sure that you are supported and that it's really easy for you. We are all going to start at the same time. So we're going to start with early registration the 3rd of November so that you can start prepping with a start for the 6th. However, as soon as you say yes to yourself, we're going to send you out all your stuff. You're going to be sent out all the information. Before you get started, we'll send out all the cool stuff I'm about to show you, and there's stuff that you're going to do to prepare before we all start on the 6th. And here's what's awesome about all of this. We have the program at just $75 value, and you are welcome to purchase the clans for just $75. We've kept it at a low cost because we are hearing, and we also know we live in the real world, how tough it is out there for all of us. And this is what it includes. We've just gone through this. I couldn't get everything on this slide that the 7-day detox includes, but besides recipes and your trackers and your toxicity quiz, there's how to stock your pantry. We've got a hunger meter so you can look at where those cravings are coming from. We're looking at exercise that's going to help you detox, and personal care things that you can do that's going to help get those toxins out. So there's a lot of things that you're going to do. But if you want to get some of the added things that you can use in the cleanse, then you can get that as part of your cleanse too. And that means I'm going to send you out a box of personalized cleanse things that are right for you on the detox. And let me show you this stuff as well. This is the cleanse kit that will come to you if you choose to do this. We have Triphala and Triphala. How many of you have heard of Triphala? Triphala? Anybody going to talk to me in chat and tell me, yep, terrific, thumbs up, lovely, yes, great. And it's one of those Ayurveda herbs that's gone pretty mainstream. Yep, no, tell me, Claire says. So we have Triphala, and Triphala means 3 fruits. And Triphala is important on a cleanse because it helps tone the digestive tract. It keeps that peristaltic movement going. It's amazing because it has a long history of supporting your colon during a cleanse. It's a great detox health blend with these 3 fruits. It has amalaki, which is Indian gooseberry, which is a phenomenal antioxidant. It is, in fact, the best antioxidant in the world. It has haritaki, which helps keep your bowels moving, and bibataki, which helps enhance immunity, and we all need that. It also helps with digestion, and it's so important to make sure that you are digesting well when you're detoxing. Now, here's the cool thing about Triphala too. It makes your digestion run smoothly and your digestive fire work well as well. So it's going to make you a really efficient fat burner. And you can't be an efficient fat burner if your digestion is sluggish or it's inefficient. We also put in a copper tongue scraper because part of what you're going to do to help detox is scrape all that junk off your tongue each morning before you clean your teeth. This is toxins showing up on your tongue. If you have a white coating, and don't run off to the bathroom to look right now, but if you have a white coating on your tongue, it is evidence of toxins. I am also going to put into this kit your body oil. This body oil is your self-massage oil so that you can do a lymphatic massage daily. This oil, I have it right here, besides smelling wonderful, I love the smell of it, it's filled with over 180 different herbs that are right for your dosha, your metabolic type, and the season that you're in. These herbs are all detoxifying and cleansing, but they're also nourishing herbs, and they're essential oils for your body. There's ashwagandha and shatavari for those of you who are familiar with Ayurveda herbs, all designed to rejuvenate, nourish, and cleanse. And just know that doing a good lymphatic massage is helping the lymphatic system take those toxins away. The lymphatic system is a bit like the sewer pipes in your house, you know, all designed to take that waste away. I'll also add the castor oil. And why castor oil? Castor oil is a very gentle laxative because at the end of the day, it is plant-based. So unlike other laxatives such as senna or saline, it is still very lubricating and nourishing to the colon. It also doesn't have that same rubber band effect that laxatives can have, where you can get backed up after you've done that flush. So castor oil is also very good at drawing out any kind of excess heat from the body, which is where castor oil packs come from. It's to reduce inflammation. So it's great for people who have any kind of gastric inflammation. That's acidity, heartburn, loose stools, or bouts of sort of chronic inflammation anywhere really in the body. So every 3 months or once a quarter is the perfect time to perform a castor oil cleanse or a detox like this, because the toxins are still in your digestive system. They've not yet disseminated from the digestive system into your bloodstream and traveled to other parts of the body. That happens about every 4 to 5 months. And you can prevent that from happening if you do a proper detox as a preventative measure. And that's going to combat any imbalances or disorders. So the cost is $259, including the program, but not for you. Oh, I feel so cheesy saying that. It's $159. How awesome is that, right? And free shipping. So there are 2 ways that you can do this. You can just get the basic program for $75, or you can get the more comprehensive kit. Now, I'm going to recommend that you get the comprehensive kit because it's a super deal. It includes the tongue scraper, the triphala, that's going to keep you regular, your personalized body oil that's right for your dosha, as well as the castor oil. But you can grab whichever one works for you. I say get the comprehensive program because it is such a good deal. And for the first 25 people, you will also get this super rejuvenating and nourishing facial serum. Here's our facial serum. And here's what's cool about this facial serum. It's individualized for your dosha and the season. So you know that it's going to be right for you, and it's going to reduce your tendency towards using personal care products that have chemicals in. I said this just recently in another workshop too. By the time we have gotten ready in the morning to walk out the door, we have put on over 50 different self-care products with over 150 different chemicals. So we got to limit that toxic exposure. And using a natural skincare product like your facial serum is a great way to do that. Now, many of you know that I'm a big fan of natural products, and we actually developed a personalized skincare line called Vedaceuticals. It's chemical-free, right for your dosha, the season, and the environment that you're in. Because me being up here in the Northeast in fall is very different to you perhaps being in Florida in the fall. So this is also a great thing to use during the week. And of course, it's for the first 25 people. So if you're saying yes to yourself, Lisa is putting the links to the registration link for the 7-day detox. So just sign up straight away. And you can sign up for either the detox or the detox and the kit. It's entirely up to you. So coming back to what you'll have, every day I'll have a live Facebook video that I'll be doing. So every day you'll get that video training that I put together for you. You'll be in the Facebook group. As I say, we've got Lisa in there every day supporting you, helping, coaching you. You've got your recipes, your meal plans, your shopping list, the trackers. You got it all. You are covered, and it will be amazing. So who's saying that yes to this? Wonderful. I love everybody saying yes. That's wonderful. Super awesome. So remember, the first 25 people will get the facial serum. So you'll have the whole program. If you go for the basic kit, you have all the materials needed to get started. If you go for the more comprehensive kit, you have the program, you have the triphala, the tongue scraper, the body oil, and the castor oil. You will probably soon already have in your inbox the links to register for the program. Lisa is also putting out the links in chat for you right now. The program is 7 days. And right now, when you say yes to yourself, you'll start getting all the information, because there are things that we want you to start doing straight away. And I'm going to talk about those when we start together. But there's things that I want you to do to prepare, right? Like we have to get your stuff to you, okay, in enough time. And those products need to get to you. And by the way, I tell you, if you've got a friend, well, friends don't let friends be toxic. Hey. So I'm just getting a message. Yes. So Julie says, can she do this at a different time? Yes, Julie, if you want to do this at a different time, yeah, of course you can, love. You will still have all the information, the videos, you'll have everything to do it. So you can do this at a different time. We're going to start as a group on the 6th. But if you want to do this at a different time, then you can, whatever works for you. But I do want to take a look at who this is not for. This detox is not for you if you're looking for a quick fix, a magic pill, or a band-aid. And let's be clear here, a 7-day detox will not be the whole answer to your health issues. It is a great first step and will do a lot detox and then go back to doing the same things that got you here in the first place. You're probably not doing yourself any good. So it is an opportunity to look at your health in a much bigger way. And of course, I mean, we focus that on our one-on-one programs. In our one-on-one coaching programs, you know, we create really comprehensive wellness plans based upon an Ayurveda diagnosis of all your symptoms and imbalances, also combined with the results from your genetics. So we do genetics testing as well. And that way we end up with a really multifaceted plan that's broken down into exercise support, lifestyle support, nutrition support, even mental health support. And in that one-on-one program, we tell you what to eat for your body type and goals, when to sleep, how to exercise. So, I mean, everything is tailored to you personally. That way, we can put all the pieces of the puzzle together for you and come up with a roadmap that's right for you. And of course, if that's what you need, then reach out to me. Lisa will put my email in the chat box. So if you would like to have a complimentary consultation because there's more going on with you and you want to talk about your health challenges, I love to get on a call or a Zoom call and we can just talk about it. However, a detox is where most of my clients start. It's a great way to start on that health journey by resetting your body through detoxing. It's not the only step, but it is often where I start with my one-on-one coaching clients to gently guide them back into great health, sometimes for the first time in years. But don't worry, you're going to have the opportunity to talk with us about any health challenges that you have during that 7-day detox, so we can look at the root cause of what may be going on as well. Now, this detox is also not for you if you want to continue wasting time and money looking for the latest fad diet, the latest fad supplement. And I would not recommend this detox for you if you want to continue damaging your body with toxins like alcohol and caffeine that trick you into false energy. If you can't get by without your evening glass of wine and you don't want to change, then this probably is not going to work for you. But it is for you if you want to learn how to heal your body quickly, efficiently, without having to leave home, but still be in a really supportive environment with us. It is for you if you're tired of trying tons of different diets and supplements without any real improvement. And if you're serious about your health and transformation and want to get back to that vibrant, energized person that you know is there inside of you, then this is going to work for you. I want you to take your health into your own hands. I want you to have an experience like thousands of my other clients around the world have, where they have brought a renewed freshness into their life, a completely different experience. What will happen is your eyes will get brighter, you'll feel different, your skin will become more vibrant, and you'll find that people will look at you and ask, hey, what are you doing differently? Have you just been on vacation? We had a client once who got asked if she had a facelift because she looked so much better. So give it a try, and Lisa and I will see you there as well. But let's get back to our work. So here we go. Let's talk about intermittent fasting and how best to do it. So what I want you to know is that it is a step-in process with intermittent fasting. Even though we're all starting on the 6th on the group plans, I want you to start this now, okay? And one of the really important things with intermittent fasting is that you really want to make sure that you're doing everything you need to achieve good blood sugar balance. And you'll find that I often talk about eating by the plate being clean protein, things like wild fish, grass-fed meats, pastured poultry if you're doing animal protein, so clean protein. Also healthy fats. These are things like avocados, slow roasted nuts and seeds, coconut milk, coconut oil or coconut butter, and then extra virgin olive oil. And then fiber is really important from slow, low carbs, and loads and loads and loads of vegetables, seasonal vegetables. By the way, we have lots of recipes for seasonal vegetables. My biggest goal is that we're going to show you so many ways to get vegetables in and get hooked on them. And this is the way to do it. Okay, so this is the first way. You make sure that you have your meals with clean protein, healthy fats, good fiber from low carbs, and lots of seasonal vegetables. Why? Why would I recommend these things? Because the protein and fiber are going to slow down stomach emptying. This keeps a hormone called ghrelin suppressed so that you're not hungry. It helps you feel fuller longer. The fat triggers the release of some neuropeptides or neural messengers in your small intestines to tell your brain that you ate, that you're full. And that's why we do this. Plus, having the fiber in there and having the protein with the fat keeps your insulin from going up as high, keeps your blood sugar more stable. Now, you notice I talk a lot about fiber, and I have shown you my extra fiber product, Trifila. I always travel with it. If you buy the full detox kit, then I'll send you your Trifila. Trifila is my secret weapon because it balances blood sugar and helps pull out toxins. Plus, it's going to make you have poops that you will be proud of, and I have to say that. But it's going to bulk your stores, it's going to help you stay regular, and it's going to pull those toxins out, and it's going to balance your blood sugar. So number 9 on your worksheet, ready? Number 9, fiber is my secret weapon as it helps balance blood sugar and helps pull out toxins. All right, perfect. Now, next step is I want you to have good blood sugar level balance. And the way to do that is I want you to stop working on eating at least 3 hours before bed. So if you go to bed at 10, then dinner by 7. Bonus points if you can have dinner before 6. There needs to be at least 3 hours or more between dinner and bed. And here's a little hint: if you get hungry before bed, have a glass of water. It will shut down those hunger pangs. But just 1 glass though, don't have a gallon or you'll be up peeing all night. Now, next thing, when you wake up, have a little bit of hot water with lemon and then wait. I want you to wait just a little while before you have breakfast. And that's because right now I want you to get to work on a 12-hour window of fasting before you eat again. So we're looking to extend your overnight fast. So that's step 1. One of the things that's helped me actually is that I close the kitchen down. You know, I want you to try shutting the kitchen down after dinner. In a perfect world, there would be a lockdown on my kitchen, and it doesn't open until at least 12 hours later. So that's your first place to start. Dinner is between 6 and 7, and then breakfast would be 7 or later. So for me now, I'll eat dinner between 6 and 7, and I'll have breakfast between 8 and 9. But during intermittent fasting, I'll push it a little. I'll push dinner earlier, so dinner will be between 5 and 6, and breakfast will be between 8 and 9. That's a good long fast. And I found for women especially, we do a little bit better if we have breakfast between 8 and 9 and dinner a little earlier around 5. So if you have breakfast at 9, dinner at 5, breakfast at 10, dinner by 6. But you really want to have finished dinner by about 6. Does that make sense? I want you to get started on these things the week before we officially start together. And again, you can do this whenever you want, but if you want to do it with the group, we will all start on the 6th. So start extending that window now. Eat by the plate, get your blood sugar balanced, start drinking a lot of water in between meals, because then you're not snacking. And snacking is the worst idea ever. So stop snacking. But if you drink a lot of water in between meals, and I'm going to give you some different fluid recommendations in the program that will help you with blood sugar balance and help you stave off cravings too. But the goal is for this next week: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, no snacks, lots of water in between. And then we're going to start having dinner a little earlier and breakfast a little later. So see how easy that is. All right, let's talk about the do's and don'ts of detoxing. One of the first things you're going to do is take our toxicity quiz, and that's going to identify things for you. First, it's going to identify where toxins are coming from. So clearly, don't add more toxins in. Look at every area where toxins are potentially coming into your life. Like containers that you may be using. Are you buying bottled water in plastic? Are you buying canned vegetables and maybe they're not BPA free? For example, I just made up a load of tomato sauces left over from the tomatoes at the end of the summer. And I put the sauce that I made in glass jars or bottles because tomatoes are acidic and will break down plastic. Plastic has phthalates, which are endocrine disruptors. That's going to affect your hormones. So look at all the different options. Are you buying organic? Now, not everything needs to be organic. If you can peel it, it probably doesn't. But definitely look at the Dirty Dozen from the Environmental Working Group and just, choose what you need to be organic about. But let's clean out wherever possible so that we don't want to add more. We want to control that as much as possible. And then the next thing we want to look at is what are the things that we can do on a regular basis to get rid of toxins. And one of the key ones, and you'll see this in the program, is that you have to eat a lot of seasonal vegetables. All those root vegetables like carrots, greens, sweet potatoes, and fall squashes. And that's number 10 on your worksheet. Eating lots of detoxing foods like apples, which are in season right now, sugar beets, and parsley. And the reason to eat these foods is because your body detoxes in multiple phases. It doesn't all happen at once. First, it frees those toxins up from the tissues. Then it gets it out. It's not good if you just free up those toxins, get the toxins out of the fat cells, but not out of the body. And this is where a lot of detoxes are wrong and harmful. And that's when you say, wow, this detox doesn't make me feel good. I feel terrible. What's going on? I feel worse. I don't feel better. And this is where many cleanses stop. They get the toxins out of your fat cells, but then just leave you there. Many fruit juice cleansers do exactly that. And that's why we use castor oil. Detoxification has to be a nutrient-dense process. And I think that's number 11, which is eat nutrient-dense foods. A detox and or cleanse, they are nutrient-dense processes. And that's why we need to use food as medicine. We make a nutrient-dense green super drink in our cleanse or in our detox. We also have great recipes to make your foods even more nutrient-dense. A lot of antioxidants are also needed to reduce inflammation because you're freeing up toxins, so we got to get them out. And as I said, many cleansers go wrong here. We see a lot of damage done by that. Otherwise, we're going to create more damage, more problems, more inflammation. So we got to make sure that all those toxins are coming out, and that is really important. And then just as important is water, water, water. That's why I left this slide up. And here's why. How do we get those toxins out? We are going to pee them out. We are going to poop them out. And we are going to sweat them out. And we're going to fast them out. Fasting triggers the autophagy that takes out the cellular trash. So number 12 on your worksheet, we are peeing, we are pooping, and we are sweating out, and we are fasting out. That's fasting it out. So remember, we're taking out the cellular trash with intermittent fasting. We're going to enhance detoxification with a lymphatic massage using your dosha-specific body oil. But you can also enhance detoxing with exercise, and we'll have a dynamic yoga sequence for you. In fact, Lisa does that. But there are other ways. You can use a sauna, hot showers, other kinds of exercise. And I want to make sure that you're eliminating. And that's where Triphala is so awesome. And a shout out for Triphala. And also, you're going to be taking your dosha teas and spices, and you'll get the recipes for those in your program. I saw that there was a chat question about the recipes for the teas and spices that are right for you. And these are vital to keeping the body systems running smoothly. All this is going to enhance your elimination. So lots of water, take your Triphala, lots of lymphatic massages, and your cleansing teas and spices, and the cleansing recipes in your program. So this is simple for you to do. It's now you have more control than any other time of your schedule and your meals. But of course, if you're not on a program like this and you're at home and you don't have support, Well, it's more chance to just sort of snack and graze throughout the day. Support is really important. You know, Lisa and I work with people all the time, and the most successful people are those that are in a supportive environment. So it's incredibly important. But if we do it together, this is, you know, we're going to make sure that you're not going to snack and graze. It's not going to happen on our watch. Absolutely not. So we will be able to do this together as a group. And again, if that doesn't work for your schedule, don't worry. You can jump in anytime you want. You'll have all the tools you need to do it when you want to do it. But I always love to have a start date, and I always love to do something with somebody. All right, so let's go through the offer one more time. And I also want to remind you that for the first 25 people, you will get this cool, super facial serum. I love mine. I use it all the time, especially this time of year where the air can get cooler and drier and we can dry out more. And don't let the small size fool you. It's mighty and I love mine. I travel with it. As I said, I use it throughout the day. It's a great thing to use during that week. And it's good for men too, for you guys who are sitting there thinking, I'm not wearing serum, I'm not putting serum on. Okay, so let's go through this. Let's go through the basic stuff. So I just want to make sure that you know everything that's in the program. It's a brand new program. It's our detox that combines the traditional strategies of Ayurveda with intermittent fasting. You are going to get the meal plans with this. You'll also get 3 additional meal plans that are right for your dosha for afterwards. So you're going to get a lot after the cleanse too, to make sure that you stay on track and eat the right foods for you. You can do this by yourself, but if you want to do this with us, even more fun, we'll be starting on the 6th with early registration on the 3rd so that you can start getting the materials. Also, beyond the meal plans and recipes, we'll have the shopping list too. That way you'll know exactly what to do. Super easy, takes the guesswork out of it. I'm not up for figuring out what to buy or what to make, so we've kept it super simple for you with easy recipes. This is not those programs where you have to spend 10 hours a day in the kitchen. We are not doing that. So it's super easy for you. And of course, you've got the health tracker. And the minute you start this, I do want you to take the toxicity quiz. It's important to see where you're starting from. Let's get that baseline. So take the toxicity quiz, see where those toxins are showing up, and see how you're doing detoxifying. You'll do that by taking the symptoms tracker to see where toxins are showing up in your body. Take a before shot too, and I say that to all my one-on-one clients because you are going to be blown away with what can happen in a week. You are going to be amazed with what happens with your waist, your weight, your energy levels. It's only 7 days, but you'll be amazed at how that you're going to feel. Your symptoms like energy, gas and bloating, even your skin. It's so awesome. So that's the very thing. And of course, the Facebook group, I'll be sending you videos every day of things to do, but nothing overwhelming. I mean, this is literally minutes a day because we're busy, right? So just to clarify, you can just say yes to yourself and do the 7-day Ayurveda cleanse for $75, or you can get the cleanse and the products I just went through for $159. You save $100, as this would normally be $259, and the first 25 people who buy the package get the facial serum. So this is what's going on. We're going to start on the 6th if you can. If you can't, no sweat. You can do it when you want to do it. This offer, though, will be going away to get the products because obviously, you know, it's a crazy offer. The body lotion itself, if you go onto my website, is nearly $60 by itself. So the offer is only here until the 26th. It's the 20th now, so you've got a few days to think about it. But you don't want to wait till the 26th because you may miss out on the facial serum, and I don't want you missing out on that. So it's a week-long detox, but I do want you to get started on your tracking right away. Start doing your 12-hour intermittent fast to start getting your blood sugar levels stabilized. So there's a lot that you can do to go ahead and get started. So it's been amazing, guys. I hope you love the program I put together. It has been quite a process. We've been working on this for quite a while now, and I'm super excited to share it with you. I'm also really excited to do it with you. Lisa has the registration links in chat for both the Detox and the Detox with product. I'll also send them out to you later this evening. You may already have them in your inbox if everything worked fine. So I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the Facebook group. We'll be doing this together as a group. But remember, if you want to wait, you can. Now you'll have all the tools in this program to do whatever it is you want. So again, my goal is that you will go intense for a week. You will see amazing results. So if you're here now and you're feeling a little tired, a little bloated, a little stuck, then again, imagine in just 1 week, more energy, less inflammation, more confidence, less belly bloat in a week. And then you'll have these tools that you can bring into your everyday life. So I figure if we can do this intensely for 1 week together, then after that week, you'll take some of these tools, you'll bring them together into your everyday life. So we just keep getting better and better and better together. So that's it. It has been terrific. I do want to honor our time together and make sure that I end on time. And I appreciate you, and I look forward to doing this with you. And I'd love to know what you think as we dive into it. It is our best one yet. So go ahead, give it a try, and Lisa and I will see you on the other side. Good night for now.